Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to talk to you about how the weather is affected by the water cycle, because pretty much water is the stuff of life. Like, all living things have to have water to live. So it's super important that we learn about the water cycle and how that affects our weather. So water cycle affects the weather because the water tends to evaporate. So most of the water on the planet is from the oceans. So just like in the Howe Sound and the Pacific Ocean, a lot of the water evaporates. So it's kind of hard to see the evaporation. So what I did was I prepared this prior. So let's say this is the ocean, and I took some of the ocean water to show you that when water evaporates, also it collects and it condenses. So this whole cycle of water evaporating, condensing, and coming back down is the water cycle pretty much. Okay, and we live in a mountainous region, so I have a mountain to show you here. A lot of the water gets blocked with the mountains because the water up in the sky, because of the cold air, becomes clouds. And water comes from the oceans. Also with plants, they evaporate the water up, called transpiration. Both of those sources have water in the air, and then when the air cools it down, they become clouds, and then they come back down. Water comes back down as precipitation in form of rain or snow. So I just want to show you what happens to the water. I mean, we are very, we know a lot about rain because we live in a rainforest, and the water gets blocked by the mountains and it comes down on our side, for instance, in Squamish. So this is something that you might want to try. You can have some hot or warm liquids. Here I put food color, and after you leave it for a while with a cover on it, the water condenses on the cover and it drips back down as precipitation. And here I have, pretend there's a baggy cloud. What I have is I'm going to pour down the cloud. I poked a bunch of little holes using the needle, and you can see that the cloud is releasing the rainwater. Okay, and I use the color to show you because it's better to see blue than the clear water. And you know that we don't get blue rain. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about clouds and why they're white. So when the warm air raises the water through evaporation, the cold air makes the little droplets condense in the air. And when the sun shines, the sun's rays, part of the rays called the electromagnetic spectrum, basically gets reflected by the clouds, little water droplets. And the entire visible light spectrum, like when we talk about the rainbow, that is the white light. When the white light from the sun hits the raindrops, they diffract or they split up. So that's why you see the rainbow sometimes after the rain, but all the colors in the spectrum, when they're together, they make white. So the clouds are white because of that.